Hello and welcome to the next episode of my Learn With Me Hydrasynth series. This is episode 2, Oscillator 3. So first let me recap what we're doing here today. Learn With Me is a series which began with my Learn With Me Op6, where you follow my end-to-end process of learning how to get the best out of a synthesizer. In this case, it is the Ashen Sound Machine's Hydrasynth Explorer. Note that the Hydrasynth Explorer is a shrunk-down version of the original Hydrasynth, but it has the same sound engine. In contrast, the Hydrasynth Deluxe is a longer keyboard version which contains 2 instances of that sound engine, allowing for splits and layers, so we will not be covering those. So far, I've covered my basic first impressions of the synthesizer, and I've spent some time talking about the panel, the control paradigms used, how I would have preferred to see the space used, and what I think the strengths and weaknesses are, as well as listening to some presets. Today, I would like to look at one of the oscillators. So step 1, init patch. Step 2. Oscillator 3 is the name of this episode. Why Oscillator 3? Well, Oscillator 1 and 2 have some additional features and lead into these mutators. Oscillator 3 is the simplest of the oscillators. In an init patch, it actually plays 12 semitones down. So firstly, I'm going to turn it up to be on pitch. Now, as I mentioned previously, you only have a wave selection here. You do not also have the wave scan feature that the other oscillators do. That's the way in which this is simplified. For the sake of visualization, I'm going to turn on the oscilloscope. Ordinarily, I don't use the oscilloscope, but maybe it looks a little bit interesting for these, but more interesting for these purposes. So focusing on Oscillator 3, what can we do with it? Well, as I did in my previous Learn With Me, I'm going to try and only use that to make a sound, but also have a look at what it has available to us. So first, let's just listen to it. I changed the wave to sine, but I didn't switch oscillators. Go to the mixer section, turn down Oscillator 3, a 1, turn up Oscillator 3. We also have the capability to solo, so this is Oscillator 3 solo, this is Oscillator 1 solo, which is silent because I turned the volume down. Let's turn solo off. So to me, this sounds like a classic sine wave. So interesting, we see a bit of motion there, so I think there maybe is some small amount of instability in the tuning, but in any case, let us take a look at what features we have here. First, we have the tune. So that's our D tune. Next, we have tuning in semitones. And finally, we have key tracking. So 100% means that for every note we go up chromatically, we ascend 1 chromatic interval. As we turn the key tracking down, the intervals between the keys becomes smaller. As we turn key tracking up, the interval becomes larger. So let's double that. So you could hear the tritone interval at 200% key tracking sounded like the octave interval. Let's jump down to 50%. So this is 2 octaves, sounds like a 1 octave interval, but this can go all the way down to 0. 0 meaning every single note plays the same pitch, or a very low number. So I can hear the pitch go up, but not very much considering how many notes I'm spanning. But we can also do things which are a little bit more subtle, like a 1% or 99% pitch tracking. So 99% pitch tracking. If I hold down shift, it makes it go slowly, so. So you can see, as I make the pitch tracking less, these notes are less and less strongly harmonically related. They become inharmonics and we start to see movement there. Okay, so first thing to do, I think, is just to listen to the different wave shapes available. I know I've heard people complain that you can't load wavetables into the synthesizer, and I can understand the idea that you might want to be able to load wavetables in, though note that this doesn't have fixed wavetables with a set of entries. This has got wavetables which are constructed by you of any number of these waveforms, of which there are about 200, and it simply morphs between them. In reality, I think wavetables are quite difficult to design and construct well, and hopefully in scanning through these waves, you will hear that there is a lot of timbral scope available without even touching these mutants. So I think I don't feel too bad about there not being a way to load my own wavetables. So let's just, let's just play. Just to make it a little more interesting, let's add a little envelope, even though I haven't introduced these. So at the moment, the filter is fully open. I won't put any effects on. I might try filter sweeping a little later. There are a lot of these to go through, so I'm just going to go through quickly and I'm going to stop if anything interesting stands out to me. Classic triangle, halfway between triangle and saw, very buzzy saw, square wave, analog style pulse wave I'd call that, digital style pulse wave, narrower pulse width, high pass filtered narrow pulse, pulse with other harmonics. I noticed that those were numbered, so I think they're a family of sounds probably intended to use together. Another family called Horizon. They sound like they're becoming progressively more metallic, quite interesting. So that Sync Lab, they seem to be bringing in additional harmonics which sound as a second pitch. Esquire, I'm not sure what they are. Maybe a bit of a plucked string metallic vibe. Creme, all of them feel quite metallic. Expect a number increasing in harmonic complexity, all based on a single wave. Sound pretty nice. The X series, similar. Okay, I like that clanger series, the way that the timbre changes between them. I can imagine using those as a wavetable to quite good effect. Induct has a sort of metallic triangle wave sound. Ah, that's nice. Almost like a bell tone Scorpio. Another nice wavetable. That Bellevue becomes simpler as you move up the range. Kendon. Somewhere between a pulse and a triangle to my ear. Leafen. Oh, another nice bell tone there. I'm going to rush through these because I don't want to spend too long here today. Oh, nice and bright tones there. Chronic. Quite diverse. duotone has a sort of two notes at different waveforms. Bob and Ab, oh, just an FYI, this little gauge at the side indicates how far through the parameter range you are, so we're getting there, but we still have some way to go. Melodic has some nice bell tones again. Cluster has some interesting shifts in the secondary harmonics, nice pitched sounds. Mica 10. Very timbrally rich, so let me experiment with the filter, so no resonance. Pretty good. Let me open the filter, turn the resonance off again. Orland. Newton. Expo. Resin. Sano. That's nice. Square root, so maybe square rooted forms of waveforms. Okay, and we've got to the end here. This is harmonic 1. It's the first harmonic of the note you play. And all the way up to the 23rd harmonic. So let's try and make a quick sound out of this. Let me make something of a pad. Delay. Reverb. Pre-effect. Chorus. Quick look in the voice section. I think this adds some detune, which might be interesting. Alternating, stereo width, randomized phase, warm mode on. Okay, probably good. Finally, in the amp section, I can make velocity sensitivity come on. Quite an interesting sound. Very, very quick look through the wave shapes available on Oscillator 3. A very quick sound design, only using the amp envelope and manually adjusting the cutoff. I would say I'm pleasantly surprised with what can be achieved with such a simple approach. I will, next episode, come back and take a look at the more complicated oscillators and spend less time going through all the different waves. But I think that's all I have to show for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'd like to hope that you come back and watch some more of this series, but in any case, I really appreciate you being here, and goodbye.